Imagine lending money to a stranger on the internet, and they pay you back with interest. Sounds risky, right? But what if I told you this idea has turned into a booming industry called peer-to-peer lending, and ordinary people like you are making money from it every single day? Today, we're going to break down what peer-to-peer lending is, how it works, why some people swear by it, and why others run away from it. By the end of this video, you will know whether peer-to-peer lending is worth your time and money, or just a shiny trap waiting to drain your wallet. Number 1. What is peer-to-peer lending? Peer-to-peer lending, often called P2P lending, is when you loan money directly to another person or business through an online platform. Instead of borrowing from a bank, the borrower connects with you, the lender, through a website. The platform acts as the middleman, handling the paperwork, payments, and sometimes credit checks. Think of it like Airbnb for money. Instead of staying in hotels, travelers rent from regular people. With peer-to-peer lending, instead of borrowing from banks, people borrow from regular people like you. For example, imagine Lisa, who wants to consolidate her credit card debt. Instead of going to a bank that might reject her or charge high interest, she applies on a peer-to-peer platform. You, along with hundreds of other lenders, each lend her a small piece of the total loan. Over time, Lisa pays it back with interest, and you earn your share of the profit. Number 2. Why do people borrow this way? This might sound strange at first. Why would someone borrow money from strangers online when banks already exist? The answer is simple. Banks often reject borrowers with lower credit scores or charge higher interest rates. Peer-to-peer lending platforms sometimes offer more flexible requirements, quicker approvals, and better rates. For example, John runs a small landscaping business. The bank refuses him a loan because his business is too new. But through peer-to-peer lending, he gets approved for $15,000 to buy new equipment. He grows his business, pays back the loan, and everyone wins. Borrowers also like the speed. Getting a bank loan can take weeks. A P2P loan might take just days. Number 3. Why do investors lend money? So why would anyone want to lend their hard-earned cash to strangers online? One word: returns. Peer-to-peer lending can pay higher interest than savings accounts or bonds. For example, instead of earning just 1% in a savings account, you might earn 6%, 8%, or even higher from lending online. But higher return usually means higher risk. Some borrowers default, meaning they never pay back. That is why lenders often spread their money across many different loans. Instead of putting $1,000 into one loan, you might spread it across 40 different loans at $25 each. This way, even if one borrower defaults, you still earn from the others. Number 4. How do peer-to-peer platforms work? Most peer-to-peer lending happens on websites that act like matchmakers. Popular ones in the USA include Lending Club and Prosper. Here is how it usually works. First, the borrower applies for a loan. The platform checks their credit history, income, and debt. Then, the platform assigns them a grade, like A, B, C, or D. An A-grade borrower has strong credit and is less risky but pays lower interest. A D-grade borrower might pay very high interest, but they are more likely to default. Second, investors review these loan listings and decide where to put their money. You might decide to invest only in A and B grade loans for safety, or you might take a chance on C and D loans for higher returns. Finally, the platform collects payments from the borrower and distributes the money to lenders, usually every month. Number 5. What are the benefits of peer-to-peer lending? The first big benefit is potential returns. Historically, some investors have made 5% to 10% per year through P2P lending. That is much higher than most savings accounts. The second benefit is diversification. If you already invest in stocks and real estate, peer-to-peer lending adds another income stream. It is like having another egg in your basket. The third benefit is access. You do not need to be a millionaire to get started. Some platforms allow you to invest with as little as $25 per loan. That means almost anyone can try it out. Number 6. What are the risks you must know? Let us be clear. Peer-to-peer lending is not risk-free. The biggest risk is default. Some borrowers will not pay back. Even if you spread your money across many loans, defaults can reduce your profits. Another risk is economic downturns. During recessions, more borrowers lose jobs and fail to pay. That means higher losses for investors. There is also the platform risk. If the peer-to-peer company itself shuts down, your money could be stuck. For example, in China, thousands of P2P platforms collapsed in just a few years, leaving investors with huge losses. In the USA, platforms are more regulated, but the risk still exists. Number 7. Taxes and regulations. Yes, you have to pay taxes on the money you earn from peer-to-peer lending. The interest you receive is usually taxed as regular income, not as special long-term capital gains. That means your tax rate might be higher. For example, if you make $1,000 in interest from P2P loans, you must report it to the IRS just like regular income from a job. Also, some states in the USA have restrictions. In certain states, you cannot invest directly in P2P loans unless you meet certain income requirements. That means not everyone can participate freely. Number 8. Who is peer-to-peer lending right for? P2P lending is not for everyone. It is not ideal if you cannot afford to lose money. Remember, defaults can and do happen, but it can be a good fit if you are looking for higher returns and are willing to take some risk. It may also work for people who want to diversify beyond stocks and real estate. For example, Sarah invests most of her money in index funds. She decides to put $2,000 into peer-to-peer lending, spreading it across 80 different loans. She treats it as a side investment, not her main one. That way, she benefits if it works, but she is not ruined if some loans fail. Number 9. How to get started safely. If you are curious about trying peer-to-peer lending, here are some beginner tips. Start small. Do not throw in thousands of dollars right away. Begin with a few $100s and see how the system works. Diversify across many loans. This reduces your risk. Focus on higher-grade borrowers at first. Yes, they pay lower interest, but the chance of default is much lower. Reinvest your earnings. Instead of cashing out every month, reinvest in new loans to grow your account faster. Keep track of your results. Some platforms offer detailed dashboards showing your returns, defaults, and risk level. Number 10. Is peer-to-peer lending still growing? A decade ago, P2P lending was booming. But in recent years, growth has slowed as banks and institutions started joining the game. Today, many P2P platforms also work with big investors like hedge funds, not just individuals. That means opportunities still exist, but it is no longer the Wild West where individuals ruled. However, as technology advances, new platforms and models continue to appear. Some even use artificial intelligence to predict borrower risk more accurately. The industry is evolving, and that makes it exciting but also unpredictable. Number 11. The emotional side of lending. Money is not just numbers on a screen. When you lend directly to people, you sometimes feel emotionally connected. For example, you might fund a teacher who needs money to cover medical bills, or a small shop owner who wants to expand. This can give you a sense of purpose and satisfaction, knowing you are helping someone achieve their goals. But emotions can also cloud judgment. You might pick loans because you feel sympathetic, even if the risk is high. That is why balancing heart and logic is so important in peer-to-peer lending. Number 12. Liquidity challenges. One problem many beginners overlook is liquidity. Liquidity means how quickly you can get your money back. With stocks, you can sell in seconds. With peer-to-peer lending, your money is tied up until the borrower pays back, which could take 3 or 5 years. Some platforms offer secondary markets where you can sell your loan to other investors, but not all platforms have this option, and sometimes you must sell at a discount. So, if you need quick access to cash, this may not be the best option. Number 13. The role of technology. Peer-to-peer lending is built on technology. Platforms use algorithms, data, and sometimes artificial intelligence to decide who gets approved. This makes the process faster and cheaper than traditional banking. For example, a borrower could apply online at midnight, and within hours, their loan might be listed for investors to fund. Technology also automates payments, so you do not need to chase borrowers. But remember, if the platform has technical issues or gets hacked, that can affect your money. Number 14. Comparing with other investments. Peer-to-peer lending sits in the middle ground between low-risk savings accounts and high-risk stock investing. It does not give guaranteed safety like bank deposits. and it does not offer unlimited upside like stocks. For example, while stocks could double in value, P2P loans are capped at the interest rate. On the other hand, unlike stocks, loan payments are predictable and steady, which some investors prefer. Understanding this middle ground helps you decide if it fits into your personal strategy. Number 15, community and transparency. Some platforms provide more than just loans. They create a community where you can see borrower stories, reviews, and repayment histories. This transparency can build trust. For example, you might see that a borrower has already paid back 2 loans successfully, which gives you more confidence to invest. But not all platforms are equally transparent. Some hide details or only show limited information, which makes it harder for investors to judge risk. Always check how much data you get before investing. Number 16. The future of peer-to-peer lending. The future could look very different from today. With blockchain and decentralized finance, some companies are exploring ways to make peer-to-peer lending run without any middleman at all. This could reduce costs and give investors more control. But with new systems also comes new risks, like lack of regulation or scams. The industry is still young, which means it will keep evolving, and early adopters must stay flexible. So, should you try peer-to-peer lending? The answer depends on your goals and risk tolerance. It can be a smart way to diversify and earn higher returns, but it comes with real risks that you must understand. Here is the big question I want to leave you with. If you had $1,000 to invest today, would you put it in peer-to-peer lending, or would you feel safer keeping it in stocks, bonds, or a savings account? I would love to hear your answer in the comments.